Morrison. Also not qualified, there is a CPS case involving. No, I've got the paper. Morrison,
What is it? How does it affect us?
he's a grandfather and he did say something about his
Okay.
the situation.
Okay, so he might be interested in talking about it.
It takes so long to pull stuff out.
Sure. Well, I just don't know how it would connect to this, but sometimes people think it is and they want to talk about it. So that's fine. Here comes everyone. Good morning. I'm going to be a little bit repetitive for a few minutes because I want to make sure everybody's as connected as things are going to get. So good morning. I'm Judge Person. I welcome everybody to court this morning. Again, I will repeat myself just a bit. What I'll be doing is conducting court, and we run two dockets. There's a pretrial, a regular docket, and I've got a few folks coming in kind of late too. So what I will do is just walk you through the process. And I've been looking and seeing, the order that people hear. And what I'll do is just go ahead and, sorry, give me a moment. Walk people through. I just keep having people go in and out. So we're letting the system resolve connectivity issues. If I could, there's a person labeled Galaxy Tab with S Pen, and I'm not completely positive who that is. Can you unmute Galaxy Tab and tell me who you are?
Yeah, I'm Robert Morrison.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Morrison.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just going to change the name on the screen, but it won't change it permanently. It'll just be temporary so that I can keep track of folks. And then let's see, I think everybody else I pretty clearly got identified. So what I'll do is just go ahead and let you know a few things that I think are important. Again, I'm Judge Person. This is the Temple Municipal Court. This is a Class C court. And the purpose of today is just to resolve cases if we're able, or get them on track, move them forward. In other words, take at least the next step and get an order in place, or work on an order if the order is not being adhered to. Okay, so the other purpose is we have a pretrial docket, and that docket is running today too. If we were live in court, we'd be doing it the same way. It's just a little more convenient, and hopefully you'll find that it is convenient for you. So the other thing I want to do is let you know that when you're given a ticket or given a citation, those are all methods we have under the law to accuse someone. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation. When you give a plea, you're giving your answer or response to that accusation. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. If you plead guilty, you're admitting the offense. If you plead not guilty, you're asking for a trial, because that's the right you have when you contest a charge. You're contesting it. When you plead no contest, you're asking to be sentenced without admitting or denying the offense. So if you plead guilty or no contest, I'm moving into sentencing. If you've already entered a plea, we're looking at the sentence itself. If you plead not guilty, today is a pretrial. That will be a breakout with the prosecutor. You'll leave this space. You'll go into a separate virtual space to have a discussion. That's very normal. That's how contested cases move through all courts. If you meet with the prosecutor and y'all come to a resolution, I usually will agree and sign off on your agreement. If you don't agree, it's not a problem, but we start moving that case into court. So the next hearing will be here in the court. It doubles as a pretrial and or a final docket call heading to trial. So, but it will not be the trial itself, because we have to really clear up some constitutional requirements that we have at that point and things that we need to do to get ready for trial. So we have like media, and it really makes it look like, an hour-long show where everything happens in an hour. But actually in real life, this is the track that it follows. Okay, so just, normal level of patience with that. It's just how that works. So if you plead not guilty, you get that breakout room time. You don't have to talk about the facts of your case with the prosecutor. You can. He is the person representing the other party. So just be aware that he's not your attorney. If you want to meet with an attorney prior to your plea being accepted by the court, if it has not been accepted yet, you have the right to put your case on hold, meet with an attorney, and get an attorney to represent you or not as you choose. But at the Class C level, it's a decision you make, not the court. It's not court appointed at this level. Okay. And that's just, there's a long-winded constitutional reason for that. If you plead guilty or no contest, or you've already been found guilty, we'll be working on a court order. Now, state law prescribes that you pay your fines and costs and you're found guilty. And then there are exceptions to being found guilty, and there are adjustments that can be made with regard to payment. With regard to payment and to the setting of bonds, financial information becomes important for the judge to have so that the judge can make good decisions and not order something impossible. In regard to a not guilty docket, I do ask for financial information because at some point I'm setting a bond to secure appearance at trial. And when I do that, I need to set it realistically. Again, having someone requiring them to post a bond that they cannot afford is not something I want to do. So I ask for the information. I'm legally allowed to ask for the information. I require it, and I'm allowed to. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is just the dismissal options. With dismissal options, the way that works is there are really 4 designated options under state law. They are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Just to cap off and tell you how those work. Compliance dismissals are things designated by state law that can be brought up to date and dismissed. If you have something like that, I'm automatically checking for it. You're welcome to ask questions, especially because most people do represent themselves in this type of court. But I'm not going to wait for you to ask. I'm going to just start looking to see if it's there. Okay. The second one would be driving safety course options. With that option, you can get a moving violation removed from your record if you qualify to be in the program and you complete the program. I'll be looking to see if you're qualified. You're welcome to ask me about it, but I'll automatically be looking. With regard to that, it's a good time to talk about the fines and costs. So in Class C courts, we don't sentence jail time, although people can get warrants if they don't appear when they're supposed to, or they don't follow their court order the way they're ordered to do so. So be clear about if you have something in place. If I'm ordering a payment plan, that means you have to follow it or you can get a warrant. If I'm ordering a class done, that means you have to get it done or you could get a warrant. If you can't comply with the order, you have a duty to come in and talk to us about it and try to resolve the matter prior to warrant. So just be aware of that. People sometimes don't realize that's what's happening to them. If you have warrants, I will do my best to work with you with all the capacity that I have on that to get it resolved. There are more and more limits the longer cases sit and languish. I have more limits. But with regard to fines and costs, if you call the clerk and say, how much is this ticket? They give you the total fines and costs number. Okay. Fines are set by the judge. That would be me. Costs are set by the state legislature. Talk to Austin. I can't change that. That's your representative setting that. Okay. But in the driving safety course context, you pay the cost, the fine goes on hold. The cost, when you pay it, goes to Austin. Okay. The fine stays here for streets, roads, fire department to show up when you get a call, So that's how that all works. Okay. In the driver safety course context, though, what I think is important for you and I as drivers is that you can get your case dismissed if you qualify to be in the program and you complete it. You pay just the court costs. You get your course done and your driving record done. You get those turned in on time. That fine was sitting here. It's just on hold. And if you get everything done, you get the case dismissed off your record, no conviction, and your fine gets waived, you don't pay it. It will be cheaper to do these 3 things and pay for them than to pay your whole ticket. The reason for that is that we want people to take that course about every 12 months. And we date that from the last course to the next ticket, okay, because those are real definite dates. So just be aware, I'll be looking, I'll be asking, I'll push gently, but if it's not something you want to do, if you just want to take the conviction, you can. But the truth is, I figure people are on here for a reason. I figure you're interested in your case. So I'll be working with you, okay? There's a whole group of people that didn't show up and they don't care about it, but you do, you're here. So I will treat it that way. Okay, the third option, enough about that. Third option, deferred disposition. Deferred means delay, disposition means to make final. I delay making your case final. I put a court order in place. If you follow your court order exactly, I dismiss it, okay? If you don't, you're subject to conviction and any fees that are due at that time, okay? So that's that one. But the trick there is I don't look for that for you. You look for that for you. And you must ask the judge, and the judge can say, I approve or I don't approve. The prosecutor and the defendant can sometimes bring me something they've agreed to as a deferral. And I can say, I agree with y'all or I don't agree with y'all. So be aware that's a pure discretion matter. And you must ask. I can't advocate for you. The prosecutor can't advocate for you. You must say, I want to defer. It's a known outcome. There will be fines and fees that must be addressed somehow. We have to look at that. That's very individualized. Some of it's based on that income information and bill ratio that I'm asking y'all to fill out. Most people did do it. If you didn't, I have to assume you're going to pay it all in one day. So we need to figure out what we're doing there. And then sometimes there's a course, sometimes there's a record, sometimes there's some item you're turning in, proof that you did something, proof that you fixed something. It can be a lot of things. It's usually connected to what got the ticket drawn up in the first place, or at least the accusation. On a plea of guilty or no contest, you may request a deferred, and that's how you do it. Guilty or no contest, I'd like her deferred. And then I'll talk to you about what I think I would do, or I will tell you what I would do at that point. Okay. Now, the fourth option is teen court. Teen court is for students, high school, middle school, homeschool, GED students. If you're heading to a high school level diploma, you can request teen court. I'll push it a bit more than I do the driving safety because young people don't always know, but it looks a little like a deferral. There are things for you to do to gain a dismissal. It allows young people to be responsible for themselves, take responsibility. Teen court is the most effective, least recurrence process we have. Folks who complete teen court successfully are the least likely to reoffend, are the least likely to get injured or hurt. With regard to traffic, if you are 25 and under, you're in the top group for death and dismemberment on Texas roadways. So if you're in the traffic setting, many of our options available curb people towards correction because we are concerned as judges that people be safe. So that's the 101, okay? And with that in mind, let me go ahead and look. I just want to, again, check who's here. And weirdly, Mr. Morrison, you appear to be now on twice. I don't know how that happened. I guess we'll address it when we get there. Harold Allen, I think I see you there, labeled Harold. You're here for a pretrial. Can you unmute your mic and let me know how you're doing?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing fine.
Okay, great. I like to make sure your mic's working. Mr. Matson is our prosecutor. Mr. Matson, can you unmute your mic and tell us who you are and how you're doing today?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ryan Matson. I'm the prosecutor for Temple.
Okay, so both of you are going to meet, and Mr. Matson is the equivalent of a district attorney, Mr. Allen. So just everybody who is meeting with him, just be aware, it's like talking to the DA, okay? He's not my employee. He works for the city. He answers to the city attorney's office. I don't answer to the city attorney's office. So we are different channels of government. Okay, we're different branches. So he does appear here in my court on a regular basis. He's assigned here, like an EDA would be. But just be aware, he's not your representative. He's nice enough, but he's not your representative. And, just be aware of that so that you don't get confused. And Mr. Allen, I'll send you over to that meeting with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Afterwards, you'll come back here. Okay, so let me just do a little cleanup on what's happening with the who's here, because I had a few people peel off. Mariah Lara, are you here? Herman Jimerson, are you here? Arthur Marino Hernandez, are you here? Okay, that's going to make for warrants. And it's a bad idea to miss court. Just real quickly, Amanda Sarias, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So I'm going to start with you. Are you able to get on screen? There you are. Okay. Let me get your file. And did you, let's see. There's a speeding charge, and I believe we're already in a process there. It looks like you have driver safety and driving record due on July 27th. Okay. And then on your license invalid charge, all we need is to see that you have an eligible driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an eligible driver's license at this time?
Yes, ma'am. It's right here.
Okay. And have you sent that into the court?
Yes, ma'am. I
When?
believe they took a copy of it.
Okay, well, I'm looking. We're looking. If I can get it and know that it's eligible, then let me see. Let's see. Eligible. Okay, that's what we need. Okay. I can dismiss that charge.
Thank you, ma'am.
We have a bit of a compliance option that I worked out with this prosecutor, things that if they were on his docket, he would dismiss. And we agree that it's not fair if you don't know that and know to push, you get a different, better option. So I can do that without you asking for a pretrial and just finding out a back channel way. We like to be transparent. So I'm signing that dismissal. The email that we use to set this meeting up today, is that a good email? It's where you click to come to the meeting. Is that a good email for you, for us to send a copy of your dismissal?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll send it to you. And with that, the only thing left is turn in your course on time, turn in your record on time. If you can't turn it in on time, reach out before your deadline and talk to us about what's going on. Otherwise, get it into the clerk, and that way you can get that one dismissed too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so you're good to go with the thanks of the court. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Great. That one, and I'll just sign that whenever you are ready. Okay, and then moving forward. A gentleman named Summer, can you go ahead and unmute and let me know your name, your full name?
My name is Marcus Scott, Adrian Jr.
Sorry, say it again.
Marcus Scott, Adrian Jr.
But don't get irritated. Sometimes you're not close enough to the mic for me to understand.
I'm
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just can't, I don't know who you are, and I can't pull a file and work with you if I don't know who you are. So let me try again, because unfortunately you cut out one more time and I don't have someone named Sommer on my docket. Can you lean up to the mic and just tell me your full name real slowly?
Marcus Scott, Adrian Jr.
There we go. I have you as Marcus Adrian Scott. So let me get your file pulled up and we'll figure out what we need to do. let me just look real quickly at one thing. I want to see if you're qualified for an option that we might have on your case, okay? I know
Yes,
that
ma'am.
last time. So I left a voice message. When did we get? Are we still on time? Do you know when what I would need to know is when did he resend? It looks like the next day. But maybe that scanned email that is right there, correspondence email. Oh, yeah, you did that. Okay, never mind. He's on time. Perfect. Okay. Mr. Scott,
Yes, ma'am.
so I have a program here at this court. Did we get a plea from him? Nothing's here. Okay. Okay. So first I need to talk to you about the case itself. So the accusation is a theft under $100 charge. It is for March 21st, 2023. If you just paid it at the window, it's $296. We have a program here that allows for a dismissal if you just take a course and turn it in on time on theft intervention. Did you, before we go to that option possibility, it looks like you're currently going to be eligible for it potentially. But before we go there, what I want to ask first is just to make sure when I talked about guilty, not guilty, and no contest, those pleading options, did you understand those options?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you understand what you're charged with, the theft
Yes,
under
ma'am.
$100? Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty. I plead guilty.
Okay. So then the next question is, do you have the ability to take an online course?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I can have you come in and schedule what we call the first offender program. I don't look at your whole background check for that. I just look to see. So I'm not really asking about anything else. But with regard to this court, I looked and you did not have anything else. And therefore, to me, you're eligible. And so what I would say is, if you can come by the court today, sign for that process, we'll give you course information. We'll reschedule the case for 30 days to June 27th, which is going to be a little more than 30 days, but it'll be a day when I'm here. And you can get your course turned in on time before that date to the clerk. And
Yes, ma'am.
I'll dismiss the charge.
Yes, ma'am.
So you'll be responsible for completing the course. You do take it at your own expense,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
responsible for turning it in, and responsible for signing off on this today. And if
Yes,
you do those three things, sign off, take it, and get it turned in, then you don't pay $296. It doesn't go on your record. You save money and you got some good, valuable information. How does that sound to you?
It sounds great, but I have a question. One question though. Would I
Yeah.
be able to come in tomorrow and sign the papers, or
Mm.
today, or do I have to do it today?
I've got to keep you on time or you disqualify yourself. And today's your court date. Can I email it to you? Have you print it, sign it, and email it back?
We can't print it though.
Where are you?
At home?
We're open till 5. Is there a reason why you can't come
Um,
in? It will take 3 to 5 minutes.
I'm his mother. I work from 10 to 6:30 and I'm his only
Why
transportation.
don't y'all head over now? Let's hang up and head over now to do it.
Okay, that would be perfect. Okay.
All right, we'll have
Thank
everything at the desk ready to go.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
come on in.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's what that motion says. It's what the theft intervention motion says. I think it says 6. Let's double check that. Okay, Mr. Allen and Mr. Matson, where are we with regard to that case?
Your Honor, we'll continue to final pretrial, but I anticipate that this case will be resolved prior to then.
Okay, I have final pretrial already set for June 28th at 3 o'clock. And if you'll need to call the clerk the morning of and just make sure whether you're set or not, because sometimes people think that they've resolved it and they don't show up. And what I want to tell you is only I can take it off the docket. So just make sure that anything that y'all are doing, if I haven't taken it off the docket, it means I don't think I can remove it yet. Sometimes there's a disconnect. And so just check if it's still meeting, then come on in and we'll figure out what's going on. If it's not meeting, it means whatever y'all did, I signed off on it. So I don't get involved in what y'all are doing right now, but just know that's the current court date. Okay, Mr. Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions before you go?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then you're free to go. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, I called already for Arthur Marino Hernandez, for Herman Jimerson, for Mariah Lara, and I have no response. They're not here. So I'm sure you'll stay at your desk for maybe the next half hour, just in case we get a latecomer, but it's already 9:30 and I'm just not very impressed if somebody's that late. But you know, I would reach out if we need to.
That sounds good, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. I'll be available.
Do you have anything else for the court before we go?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're good.
Thank you.
Oh, who's that? Someone's coming in. On a telephone.
I'll wait for a sec.
Sometimes people come in on a phone after they couldn't get other things, their devices to work. Hi, telephone caller. Can you tell me your name?
Hello, my name is Jaime Osvaldo Rojas.
Okay. No, he's not.
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Mr. Rojas, you somehow got renamed the wrong way. So let me figure that out. I got that done. But actually, that's not who I was trying to talk to. Just be patient. On the telephone caller, who are you? 254 area code ending in 602. Yes, you've unmuted. Who are you? Please speak.
Arthur Hernandez.
Arthur Hernandez. Okay. I'm going to move you over to a phone call meeting with the prosecutor. Please be aware that you've missed the first half of court, and so you've probably missed some valuable information. And the prosecutor knows that, but he'll meet with you. He was just about to leave because court started at 9. I'll move you over to that meeting, and then I'll need to speak with you before you go today. It might be that you have to, it might be important. Just make sure that you speak with me before you leave today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Matson, we'll see if we can get him back or not after y'all speak. There he went. And then I'm moving forward. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Marcus Scott, are you here?
He just left. You just had spoke to him. It was the Somer person.
That's right. Thank you. I forgot to cross it off. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Appreciate it. Angelo Quezada Sanabria, are you here? Kenteria Knox, are you here? Okay, well, let me move forward. Miss Green, can you unmute so we can visit?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm fine. We have a show cause today. We have community service. It was all due April 18th. I don't have a warrant yet. The purpose of the meeting today is to try to avoid that. So thank you. I'm glad you're here. The financial affidavit that we have really shows that your expenses exceed your income. And that's not unusual for folks. Things are really expensive right now. I do know that. I guess what I'm wondering though, I did receive a request for a payment plan. I don't have a real opinion about which we do, but has your income changed? You were at Adult Health Central Texas. Are you still there?
At Advent Health?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry, Advent. Has anything changed about income?
No,
Has anything changed about expenses? Have they gone up or down?
no.
Okay, and I see that you have a young child at home as well, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, are you a single parent basically?
Yes.
Okay. What happens when you're at work? Like your child goes to school and then after school, are you home by then? Or how does that work? Your child?
No, she comes home to my neighbor for an hour till I get home.
Okay. So doing community service is a big challenge then. Is that
Well,
what
yeah,
happened?
that and just physical mobility. I had to have on February 28th, I had to have a surgery, an unexpected surgery because of a complication from a previous surgery. So physically, I'm not really able to do anything. Like I can't lift, I can't really do anything with my left side. So that was kind of the problem. And then I was on bed rest for a week. I couldn't drive for 3 weeks. And then so the time just started running out, and I really all the options I had of places I called, they needed like physical labor, and I just couldn't do it.
Right. Okay. So here's a question. Is that a permanent? I hope it's not, but is that a permanent situation?
Yes.
Okay. So what I can do, I think the best course of action in your case would be for me to give you a 30-day extension on your community service, and
Okay.
you bring me a doctor's note saying that you can't do community service, and that would allow me to waive it.
Okay.
Yeah. The solution in this is just to force you to pay, right?
Right.
I've determined that you can't pay. And so it's not appropriate to now force you to pay. It's appropriate for me to get something to document the circumstances
Yes.
and then waive it. Okay. So I'm going to extend your order out to June 27th, which I realize is more than 30 days, but that's going to be the next court date. And
Okay.
let me get that order, community service, and we'll give you the date, the time, and
Okay.
and then just know that's your deadline. We'll email you like a timesheet that has the new date at the top, just so that you have it written down somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
But what I'm looking for is that note. I'm expecting that you're going to get me that note.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's see. I'm just going to make a note. We're expecting a doctor note.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm so glad you logged in, and we'll get to the end of this later, but we'll email to the, thank you. Can we email to the address that we have, email that we had?
Which one is that?
Whatever you used today that had the link in it would be.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
The other thing I want to tell you is I have you on a deferral. I didn't have that paperwork in front of me. I just realized. And on your deferral, I need to expand your deferral in order to encompass this new date, because we run out of time on that deferral otherwise. So I'm going to extend the deferral to 6/29 to June 29th.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is say that your community service is due June 27th. And I'm going to do a thing called issue a show cause, which means I extend today. And that means I'll show cause, shift it to the 27th.
Okay.
At 9 o'clock. So you'll be put into another meeting. And I think we probably need to do that to check on your deferral. And then the other thing is there's a driver safety course that, and we did get that. So that part has been sort of checked off as completed. But due to your medical situation, I think it's appropriate to extend your deferral, extend your community service. And let's see if your doctor can just, they don't have to tell me your medical condition. I don't need that in the file. What I'm trying to do is, have them say yes or no to do whether you can do it.
Okay.
Okay. Are we good? Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like you understand what I'm asking you to do?
Yes, just get the doctor's note.
Yes, and turn it in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. we'll email your copy of everything and then we'll just look for your note.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Green.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, I know that you were talking to Arthur Hernandez, and I did try to move him back over. Let me see. It didn't happen yet. Here we go. It's actually worked. Okay, so where are we with regard to Mr. Hernandez's case?
We will set for final, but I anticipate that Mr. Hernandez's case will be resolved prior to that date as well.
Okay, so Mr. Hernandez, let's see, let me look at everything. We're scheduling your case for June 28th at 2:00. So it looks like that plan to be here unless the case has been removed from the docket. You can know that by calling the clerk in the morning that morning and checking, okay?
June 28th, right?
June 28th at 2.
At 2 o'clock. Okay.
Yes. And then I have another quick question I need to ask the clerk on the stop sign charge with him, the payment plan.
Well, the
Here it
payment
is.
plan, I was gonna pay it off today.
You say you're going to pay that off today?
Oh, yeah, there's
I'm so sorry. Somehow your voice is muffled.
That's $224.
Yes,
off
234. Uh-huh.
Yes, I'll pay it off today.
Okay, I'm just pulling that up to look because there's a question mark in my mind. I think it's not due until May 8th, so 4 days from now.
Yeah, I was going to pay the hotel off today.
Okay, just you have till the 8th, okay?
Okay.
All right, you're good to go then. We'll see you June 28th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a new phone caller come in on the telephone. Could you give me your name, please? Hello, phone caller. Oh, try again. On the phone, 254-049 ending. Hi, what's your name
Angelo,
and your last name?
Quesada with a Q.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll be with you soon.
Okay.
Okay, just stay there, but I'll call your name out in a moment.
All right.
All right. Mr. Matson, you're good to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, moving forward. Mr. Morrison, can you unmute and tell me how you're doing?
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Since the last time we spoke, shortly after court, maybe a week or two, my situation turned for the worse.
I'm sorry to hear that.
The child that I was keeping, I was trying to help out my daughter. It's my grandson, because she has 6 kids. But unfortunately, a couple of weeks after court, CPS showed up at her house and they were removing the kids.
Okay.
I'd rather not say why because
you don't need to.
It's in court now, but they were removing the kids and she couldn't have any contact with them, which includes her son, which she was my drop off and pick up for school and my child care during the time when I couldn't be here. So that all changed because I don't, of course, you know, my financial state, I don't have the money for child care. So I had to, when I leave work at 2:30, I have no transportation now. So I had to catch a ride home to his school, pick him up, and I had to be here with him. So, because he's not old enough to be at home alone until I get home. And like I said, I have no money for childcare. I have discussed, me and my wife were separated, and because now we're going to have to take on all of her kids. We've been dealing with CPS and they've approved us for approved our home study and approved our backgrounds and everything. And we've discussed her moving in to help with the kids. But unfortunately, she has her own house at this point, and
So
she
you're
has to
the only
finish
one.
right now. I'm the only one, and if she doesn't come, then I'll have 5 kids as opposed to 1. Which I mean, I may be able to pay something a month, but the time is something that I won't have. Unfortunately, you can't save up time.
How old are the kids?
5, 6, 8, 9, and 11.
Okay, the 5-year-old, just first name.
The 5-year-old's name is Lamaya.
And the 6-year-old first name?
The 6-year-old is Lorian.
8-year-old?
The 8-year-old is Lariah. Yeah, you seeing the pattern here?
I do. Then, and they're your grandkids. 9-year-old?
And the 9-year-old is Lamika. MECA. Lamika.
And the 11-year-old?
It's Latravion, who's been staying with me all the time.
Okay. He's always been with you, or
Yeah,
mostly?
he's the one that you gave me community service for the last time because I had to take care of him with low income.
Okay. All right. Mr. Morrison, at this time, I'm going to waive your fines and costs. I don't think that you can do the community service, and I don't think you can pay. You're in a hardship situation. So I'm going to waive it this time. Okay.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck with everything. I know it's a hard time for you, for your family. Okay.
Yes,
I
yes.
did read the letter that you gave me as well, and I took that into consideration too. So just best wishes on everything. I know it's a hard time.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. I'm glad you logged in.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, moving forward. Let's see. Jaime Rojas and Mom, can y'all get back on screen, please?
Um,
Good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning.
I'm just getting your file pulled up. Okay, there's a no driver's license charge and the fines and costs are $181. And Mom, how are you today?
I am fine. And you?
Yes, I'm well, thanks. What is your name?
Marlene Rodriguez?
Last name Rodriguez?
Yes.
And first name, I'm sorry.
Marlene?
And Jaime, can you tell me the name? I'm sorry, I'm just not catching it.
Marlene. M-I-R-L-L-M.
M-A.
M-A.
M-A-R
Yeah.
E-L-L-O?
M.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So how do you say your name, Mr. Rojas? Jaime?
It's Jaime. Or
Jaime.
you can
Okay, that's what I thought. And then I started thinking I had it wrong. Okay, so are you getting a license? You're only 15.
permit.
Are you, yeah, do you have a permit?
In the course of it, in the process of getting it right now.
When are you gonna have it?
I have an appointment for June 28th to go. I think it's to go see if I can get the permit or if I'm eligible for it. But for right now, whenever I went, because I was gonna pay the ticket and I thought I was gonna take it off my record, but they told me it's better to go to teens court. So, and they told me that with having the no driver's license in my record, I might not be able to get a driver's license or probably a permit.
Who told you that?
It was, ¿cómo se llamaba?
¿Qué?
La señora.
Here
La
at the
del-
court? Where?
I went-
At the court or at DPS?
No, a donde fuimos ahí a pagar.
We tried to go pay the ticket where we pay tickets.
Okay, yeah. So we're trying to work with you. So I can reschedule you to come in with that permit. And if you stay on time, it might be possible to dismiss it. I'm not going to promise that until I see it. So I can schedule you for June 29th.
So if I come in with the permit, it'll come off my record?
Well, yeah, probably. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. You have to be on time and you have to get the permit and you have to sign off on that for today. So actually the 29th won't work because we've got something else happening at the court. So it would be July 6th. It's
Yeah.
going to be when we reschedule you. So prior to that date, if you can bring it in, it will help. Let me go ahead and ask you to come in and sign for the reset. Okay. So when can you be here today to sign the reset?
Ahorita.
Sí, ¿a qué hora fue decir que como a
Ah.
las 11. A las 11.
Could I come in at 11 a.m.?
Sure, that'd be fine.
¿A dónde puedes ir?
Mom has to come with you.
Ok. Sí, tienes
And-
que ir donde va una corte normal.
Do we have to go where we go to court or where we pay the tickets?
Where you pay the ticket is the court. So yes.
En Tempe.
Okay. So where you
In-
came before and filled out your papers, you come back here. You come back to the same place. And you sign your paper to set your case to a new time. Okay. And by 11 o'clock this morning, Mom has to do it. And here's the important thing, Mr. Rojas, no more tickets.
Ok.
Yes, ma'am.
Ok.
If you keep driving, you'll wind up having to pay this ticket and have it go on your record. And even if you got a license before that happened, they'll suspend it. You're not licensed to drive. They can actually detain you. Okay. All right. We'll see you at about 11. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And let me just check on this person. Think. Mariah Laura, hi, can you unmute for a moment?
Hola, buenos días. ¿Habla español?
No español. In the lobby.
¿Puedo buscar un intérprete?
In the lobby. You have to come to the building. I don't have somebody now.
Oh, okay.
Where it started an hour ago. And I can't do your pretrial because the prosecutor's gone for the day. Come to the lobby and reschedule.
Okay.
Okay. He's here. So let Zena know. Let's send Zena a quick note. Yeah, or go tell her that she's coming in and we'll call her. But she's gonna reschedule her pretrial on her rubbish case. Set it for final June 28th. Just have her sign off on it. And that way we can have an interpreter here on her final date. And just remind her that she's got a payment due. Folks, just hang on one moment. Yes. On the pretrial. But since Mr. Matson would have gotten an interpreter, but he's already gone for the day. And I told him 30 minutes and it's been 30 minutes, so. Hi. She was walking on the door. Yeah. Yeah, we were online with her out in the lobby. She was standing outside and I said, come on in, and I saw her get out of her car. So we were just trying to reach out so that somebody knew to help her. Yeah, it's simple. This is her, and then this is Mr. Morrison. Thank you. Okay, let me give the clerk a second or two and let me figure out. Okay, Mr. Rojas is coming in. Mr. Roberts, can you unmute? And if you're able to get on screen, that always does help.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. I'm gonna head to my room real quick. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you? I'm too.
Okay, I'm good. Okay. Family, you are 17. Are you living with mom?
Yes, but when we went up to the people, they told her that she did not have to attend this Zoom.
Yeah, I agree. I just asked a question.
Yes, ma'am. I live with her.
Okay. So this is a no driver's license charge. The fines and costs are $181. Of course, I'm interested. Do you have a license yet?
No, ma'am. Not yet.
Where are you in that process, if at all?
I'm not in the process yet, but I'm starting the course. Not this upcoming paycheck, but my next paycheck. So in about like 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay. Where are you working?
I'm finna start working at None But Cakes.
Okay. Cool. We like their cakes over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody sent us one and everybody's all the buzz. That's a nice place. Okay, so with Teen Court, there's a $20 fee. It's a cash fee, and we normally ask to get it today. Is that possible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so this is where it's helpful to have a parent. How are you going to get the court to sign your paperwork? And how are you going to pay your fee?
I mean, I could get a way up there. I just can't have that money by today.
Okay, no one can help you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, when could you pay it?
Probably like in a week.
Okay, right now today, we're in May. It's May 4th. A week from today is the 11th. I could give you till the 12th.
No, that's fine.
Okay. That's for that payment. And then for Teen Court, what I'm going to require you to do is get your permit quickly. And you told me you would start that process. How long is that process going to be?
I said in about like 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, so 3 weeks. Do you know when you're starting your class?
Class? What kind of class?
For the permit.
The one for the permit, yeah.
Oh, no, not yet.
You don't know when?
No, ma'am.
So it's kind of difficult for me. Take your hand down, please.
I'm sorry.
When people talk like this, it's kind of hard to understand them.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's cord. You wouldn't be doing that in the room. So, Okay, so who's there with you? It's obviously somebody intelligent.
My mom, she just got here. Like she just pulled up.
Okay, it would be great. Mom, we're trying to give him an easier avenue than paying $181. But as young people often are, he's a little unprepared for what I'm asking for him to do. So with Teen Court, instead of $181 and a conviction that will probably keep him from getting a license for a while, we could give him a Teen Court option. He would need to pay a $20 fee in cash, and then he gets a permit. But I don't have a long time. And I asked him, when can we get it done? And he was just like, I don't know when the class starts. I don't know when it ends. So where are y'all in that process? Do you know?
Well, as far as I know, a permit, the classes are beyond what I have right now because my mother just passed away and she was on hospice and I was her caregiver.
Yeah,
so,
I got the letter.
Yeah, so I don't, I've been looking for work. So right now I don't have the means to get him into a permit class because that's way out of what I have right now. But as far as like the $20, if you give a week, that's fine because I do door dashing and stuff like that. So the $20 is fine, but I don't know as far as like the permit class, I don't know when I would be able to get him into one of those.
How much is that class these days?
Like I think it's like right at 500. It's like 475, I believe.
Okay, so I think that there's a better option. First of all, on the teen court fee, I can waive the $20 because it's actually a hardship right now for y'all.
Mhm.
And then what you would focus on then, Trayvon, is a life skills class that's going to run you about $50 instead. So part of that $20 could go to that. He's working. Maybe you could pay mom back. I can give you till June 27th. I'll make it, the lowest number of hours to keep it affordable. But I think a life skills class about decision making is probably warranted here because somebody decided they could drive illegally and that it was okay to do that. So, I mean, here's the thing, Trayvon. I mean, I've sort of made that slightly funny, but the fact is an unlicensed driver under the age of 25 is more likely to get killed than any other driver. And Texas is the #1 state for young people to be killed. We kill more young people in Texas on the roadway than any state in America. Okay. So you're in the top super group first. Second, if you survive an accident, we are also the #1 group for court orders where people unlicensed and underage have caused an accident and created lots of damage and death. And there was a court order over in College Station 2 years ago where a 17-year-old girl was in a car wreck with an 18-wheeler. Several people died, and she got a $2 million judgment issued against her. And she has to pay it. Her parents can't pay it. And she won't get licensed until she does. I don't know how she's going to get to work. So you don't need to be driving. I'm willing to create an avenue for a dismissal so that you can get licensed and drive. You have a whole year before you're 18. So you either can't drive between now and then you can do it the less expensive way, or, you do it this very expensive way. And I'm a parent too. I actually know that it's quite out of range for most of us. So, you need to sort it out. If you've got this job, you don't get to drive to the job. If mom can't take you, if you can't get a ride with a licensed driver, then you need to figure out a different way to get there. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
We want to open up your future for you and not have you lose everything. Okay? Because right now it's narrowed down by your actions. And therefore, I think a life skills class, an affordable one, would be a good idea right now. Mom, what do you think?
Yes, man, that sounds good. Is it, because I know some of the life skills classes, it's like it's paid per is it just one class, or is it he gonna have to go to multiple?
No, it's one class, but I'm going to give you a list of places to choose from.
Okay.
And can I see that option, Liz? So for life skills, let's see, I have 4-hour classes, and we'll do a 4-hour class. And I have several that you could look at. We'll give you a sheet that has a bunch of them, and y'all sort out the one that you want to do. Okay. Mom, you can help him know that since you're going to help him pay for it. And what I would say, Trayvon, is what happened here, by the way? How did he get access to a car?
It was, the fact of the matter is I had to stay with my mother 24/7 after she was put on hospice. I literally could not go anywhere because of her condition. So it was one of those, I needed something for her and he was going to get it for me.
Okay. So just being aware that you could also be charged with permitting a unlicensed driver to drive. And that can create an impact to your license too. So y'all want to curb that because that's not going to help y'all in the long run. I understand things come up and people just try to do the best they can. So I'm not going to scold you a bunch about that, but sometimes people aren't aware that they could have a consequence too. It doesn't sound like that happened, and I'm not looking for that to happen. But I just want to highlight that to y'all. Now, when can we get here to sign these documents for teen court today?
If we come right now, I could do it because I have scheduled neck injections here shortly, and I have to be in Colleen at the surgery center.
Okay, now
If we
works.
come right now.
Now works. I have your paperwork right here. It's signed and ready to go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, moving along. Let's see. Daniel Jones, can you unmute for me, sir?
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, we see. Oh, let me walk through. It's going to take a few minutes, but we'll get there. I just need to walk through every case and make sure that we are where we think we are. Are you still working at Popeyes?
Yes, ma'am. I recently just came back. I had resident in two different states here in Texas as well as in Louisiana, because my grandparents was ill and I was there helping them. None of my aunts and uncles were able to do so because they were in further states away. And then when my grandparents passed away, I had to pretty much clear out of their home and things like that. So I was back and forth between those things like that. And then eventually my stepfather passed away. So I had the same issue again, having to deal with that. And then eventually I ended up catching COVID. So I started losing hours and things like that at work. And I was also hospitalized at one point with the COVID. And so now I'm able to, I knew I had the fines and everything. It's just I got to a point where it got overwhelming and I wasn't able to take care of any of the fines and things like that. So now I'm able to, things are starting to kind of settle down, and I'm able to focus on myself now instead of having to focus on others. So that's why I immediately reached out, because I knew I already had the situation.
Okay, thanks for all of the information. That does help. And it also, I was listening, but I'm also making sure I've got everything clear in my mind on the rest of your paperwork. Hold on, I've got one more little check-in to do on the papers.
You're freezing up?
No, I'm just talking to myself, Chris. I can hear you just fine. I can hear you. Are you there?
Come on.
I'll wait a moment.
Yes, ma'am. It was my internet connection here at work is horrible. So it's been freezing up back and forth.
Okay. So let me walk you through this. Can you hear me first of all?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm going to do you the honor of not going over every single case that you have in a warrant status that you already entered a plea. But where I don't have a plea, I do need to check in with you.
Okay.
So these are the written things that you gave me. See, we have over, gosh, let me look real quick. I have 16 cases with you. So there is a driving with an invalid license charge from August 17th of 2019. The fines and costs are now at $456.17. How are you pleading to that charge? I had a guilty plea entered on paper And I just want to confirm, is that your plea now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will accept your plea. The next plea I had was September 10th of 2019. There is another license invalid charge. I received a plea of guilty. The fines and costs are $456.17. Is guilty your plea still
No.
at this time? Okay, I will accept your plea. Then I had a license invalid charge from April 8th of 2022. The fines and costs are $430.30. And I did receive a plea of guilty from you. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then that
Oh,
same
I'm
day.
I mean to cut you off, but all those times were like time frames of me going back and forth between the times of me traveling back and forth.
I understand. And then I received a plea on a failing to stop for a school bus charge. This is April 8th of 2022. The fines and costs are at $1896.70. Those are mandated by state law. And I received a not guilty plea from you recently. The case is already in warrant with a missed court date. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am. Because I did see the bus and I did stop. I guess the officer said I didn't stop long enough because the signs were she turned the lights off and they were starting to close. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I need to move that case to the contested docket.
Okay.
So we will schedule that for an online pretrial May 16th at 9 o'clock. Okay. And then on the other cases, I am showing that, first of all, I want to ask you, just, I don't mean this, I ask everybody this, okay? So I'm not implying anything here. I'm just looking for easy options that we might have first,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Because I like the straightest line to a result that I can get most of the time.
Yes,
Like,
ma'am.
have you been arrested at any time from this day looking back through
No, ma'am.
really 2015?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I like I said, I haven't been
2013
stationary long enough for anything like that to happen.
Oh, that doesn't require people to be stationary. Can be arrested driving down the road if there's a reason.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to tell you is minus the case that you're contesting right now. Give me a moment. There's a balance then of $6,883.04. That's because of delaying. And, I know you've had a difficult 2 or 3 years, but we've had cases with you for a decade. And we've tried a number of things to try to resolve these with you. And there's always, we're going to do something, and then you don't do it. So I don't know what options I really have to work with you. You're here. I want to work with you. But I just, if I ordered community service, that's 344 hours to, and then it would zero out your balance on, these cases. If you're ever interested in having a license again, you're going to have to clear these cases.
Yes, ma'am.
And not continue to get more cases.
I've been honestly, and I'm not making any excuses for myself. I've been really, really trying to complete the obligations. It's always, something always would happen which will cause me to not be able to complete it. And then I started, I was working, and then I lost my job. And and then I have to go back and forth between states and things like that. So it was a lot. It's been a lot going on through the whole duration of the time frame. So that's, again, I apologize to the court because not completing my task and things like that. It's been really, really rough. The past 9 years or so. Like I said, my grandparents, I lost my dad's parents 1 month, then my mom's parents 3 months later, and then I lost my job in the process of doing all of that. So I was out of work for a while. And then, so now it's like, I don't have any transportation. My vehicle at the time, I lost it because I wasn't working. So it was just hard to just maneuver and get around and doing things like that. So I was relying on my grandparents to send me bus tickets to go back and forth from state to state. And now I'm to a point now where I can kind of settle down to get my life back under control.
Okay, yeah, it's going to take a while to dig out, but I think you can do it if you're determined. Are you still on South 39th Street?
No, ma'am.
Okay, where in town? Are you in Temple?
I'm in Temple now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where are you in town? What part of town? I don't need you to give your address right now.
I'm on the court side of town.
Okay, there's community service within 5 blocks, probably, or 10. So you could walk, you know. I can order community service. I can go ahead and order it, and it would be 344 hours.
Okay.
I could, let me tell you everything. I could recall your warrants and give you time to do that. I will be entering new convictions today on the new case, the new pleas. I'm going to schedule you for some due dates and also for that pretrial on that other case that you're contesting about the bus.
Okay.
What I'm going to tell you is, here's the deal. Okay. I get that things happen with people.
Yes, ma'am.
And if we sat here for a while, I could tell you all the things I've had to deal with over the last 5 years. Okay. Because it's been a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
As much as anybody I ever hear from. Seriously.
Yes,
seriously. But the fact is, when we have dates, especially with courts, the consequences should be enough that you understand the seriousness of not meeting those deadlines. We take everything but a phone call. We take a letter, we take an email now, we take a fax. But if you've got a deadline and you can't meet it, you have an obligation to keep your address current and stay in communication with the court on time.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if I give you another chance at this, instead of saying it's just got to be jail time, and you blow it off, and I don't hear from you on your deadlines, then I'm going to know how to respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have to do it that way.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're going to have 344 community service hours to do. I need you to come sign for it. You will not be arrested here. Once you sign, I can get your warrants off. You'll sign for your pretrial on that contested charge. You will also sign a document saying you understand that if you work with the city, they don't have any coverage if you're injured and it's not a private affair. You've got people see you doing community service. You just waive any confidentiality to that. And then I'm going to give you a deadline of July 6th. I don't actually think you'll get all 344 hours done. You might. It doesn't all have to be at one place, but I do need a timesheet from each one.
Okay.
Anybody, because they verify your hours. You need to use the list provided. It's too complicated to start trying to use some outside provider, because that you've got to get pre-approved within 2 weeks. But it's an option, but it makes another step, because if it's not on my list, you got to get it approved before you do any hours with them. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you need to update your address when you come in. You need to sign your waiver for community service. And then we will set your pretrial on your bus charge.
Will the office be open after 4 o'clock today?
If you can get here by 4:30, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
If not, then if I can't make it there by then I'll be there first thing in the morning.
You don't want to do that. You
Okay.
need to get here. You need to get here.
Okay.
So update your address, update your payment application, because I use it to verify that you're indigent and that community service is the right thing. Okay, if you have a job that you think you're gonna start, but you haven't started it yet and gotten income,
No, I'm working now.
okay, you can
Yeah.
tell me what it is, but I'm suspecting that you're still indigent. Because
No,
you
no, no.
had,
I'm
you've had
working
too
now.
much.
Yeah, I'm working now. I'm at work right now. That's why I was saying I don't
Okay.
get off until 4 o'clock. So
Yeah,
trying to
we're-
get from crosstown to over there, I might not make it in time.
Can you get a lift?
Yeah, I can do that. I have a problem getting a ride there. The problem is just going from is if the guy doesn't, whoever's supposed to come in this afternoon, if he's not here on time, then I'm stuck until he gets here.
Well, we'll cross that bridge if we have it.
Okay.
So you need to update everything and sign off on everything. Read it.
Okay.
Read it before you go today, and we'll set up your pretrial. And then you need to stay on time, because really, if you don't, I mean, I feel like I have listened to you. I feel like I have given you every consideration. I feel like I've bent over backwards. But for 10 years, I've been trying to get you to deal with something. So I really am kind of out of time on that. But I also have one more thing for you. We're going to give you what I call the license packet. And it's a way to help you figure out how to get an occupational license.
Okay.
And you might be able to get one. And if not, you'll know what you need to do to get your license back. If you follow the prompting, it's a set of papers, everything you need. It's all inclusive. And it will even tell you how to file and what to file over at the right court to get a judge to look at it and see if you can get a license. And there's paperwork in there for how to get that judge to waive your filing fee.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you start doing that process, I'm just getting one. When you start doing that process, and this is all available online where you hit print, if you just know how to do it, that what you'll find is that you'll see us listed. We have a hold on your license here at the court. And when you zero out your balance through your community service, your cases will go off that hold.
Okay.
Okay. And the court where you go to try to get an occupational is going to require that you get those holds lifted.
Okay.
So you want to get started on your community service right away.
Okay.
All right. We'll have everything at the front desk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. I need to write more things. I just realized I didn't write those down. Oh, thank you. I assume we're going to add all of his. It's not 877.99, etc., because he's contested that one case. So I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll white it out. I'm sure that system just automatically did it. And then did we white out that case? Thank you. I'm not gonna do, I don't know the hold fees that go in. So, I mean, I'm sorry, the time pay fees. It will change how we calculate from 20 to probably like 23 when we ultimately do it. It's kind of messy. Oh, I'm sorry. I did want to tap that with a recall warrant. Phone caller, can you work on unmuting? That would be awesome. This is trying to reach out to Angelo de Jesus Quezada. He was kind of late anyway, so I'll take him later. But then I had one more really late person, so they went. Hi, phone caller. Can you unmute?
Hello.
No, it isn't. Hi. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. Do you understand me?
Yes, hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just didn't hear what you had said. I was in the bathroom, my bad.
I asked, do you understand me?
Yes.
Okay, we were looking at doing teen court with you. I'm Judge Person. You entered a plea of guilty on a no license charge. And last time you didn't have your parent with you. So is your parent with you?
Yeah, she's right here with me.
Okay, she needs to get on the phone and let me talk to her.
She doesn't speak English, but is that fine?
Well, I don't speak Spanish. So I think what y'all need to do is she needs to bring you up here and we can meet with a juvenile case manager. What time can y'all get here today?
Right now.
Okay, that's fine. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.